folks. I want to take a minute to talk about jealousy. Um, it comes up a lot in therapy sessions, and oftentimes it's a misuse of the term, and sometimes, well, often also, it is thought of as a bad thing. Jealousy gets a really bad rap, and it's such a bad rap that people are afraid to admit when they're jealous, or they refuse to see how their experience could be jealousy. So, a couple things that I want to point out before going too far into this is that in evolutionary theory, we talk about things that are adaptive or not adaptive. So, if according to evolutionary theory something is adaptive, then that means it's aiding in our survival and reproduction. It's helping our species survive. If something is maladaptive, then it means it's violating our survival and reproduction. It's getting in the way of that. And so I'm going to use those terms, adaptive and maladaptive. Um, so, first, what is jealousy? Sometimes people will say, I'm so jealous of that person because he's got a nice car and he's got a marriage that he's married to someone that he loves. And that's actually not jealousy, that's envy. So, if you want what somebody else has, that is envy. If you want, if somebody else wants who you already have, then that's jealousy. And so jealousy is about that anxiety that we experience when someone is trying to take away our mate. One, they're trying to take away our mate. And two, they might be successful. So that's really important to know because jealousy is adaptive at times, it's helpful at times. Because if you take away my mate, I can't reproduce, according to evolutionary theory. And but it gets in the way of having healthy relationships with the people that we love, even if we're not going to reproduce in those relationships. We have to modernize that theory as well. So if somebody is not trying to take away my mate and my relationship is not in jeopardy, then there's nothing to be jealous about. I've mentioned this before when it comes to, um, I did a blog post. I don't think I did a video, but I did a blog post about when an ex dies. And a lot of times people are not supported by their current sexual partners, their current romantic partners, when they're grieving the death of an ex. And they're not supported because those people say they feel jealous, or it's because they feel jealous, but it's misplaced jealousy because a, a person who died is not going to take away your mate. So jealousy doesn't fit. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to get in the way of somebody reflecting on an awesome relationship they had with a past loved one when that past loved one is dead because that person is not going to take away your mate. Now, if your misplaced jealousy is such a problem that you end up pushing your mate away and they say, I don't want to be with you anymore, well, that's why it's important to not act jealous when jealousy doesn't fit. If somebody wants your mate and your mate is making it clear that there is no way in hell I will ever be with that person, jealousy doesn't fit. Because in order for jealousy to fit, someone has to be trying to take away your mate or wanting your mate, and your mate and your relationship has to be in jeopardy. There actually has to be a chance that that could actually happen. So, how can we use jealousy to help us? How can we use jealousy in adaptive, healthy ways? One, recognize when we're jealous. Recognize when we're jealous versus envious, and recognize when we're jealous and ask ourselves, does jealousy fit right now? Is there somebody actively trying to take away my mate? And is my relationship in jeopardy? Am I at risk of losing my mate because of that? And if so, if you can answer yes to both of those, jealousy fits. And then this is the hard part. This is so hard. If you can be curious and interested instead of controlling and nasty, because again, it's about us potentially losing the person in our life that we love. And if we become controlling, you can never go near that person again. Don't ever talk to her. I'm going to check your phone. I'm going to check your emails. Don't even look at her. If you're doing that stuff, or you're yelling nasty, ugly things to the other person, or you're calling her names, or you turn into someone that you don't even agree, it goes against your values and goes against your mate's values, and you start just bashing that other person, then you become less attractive to your mate. And you end up pushing your mate into the arms of that other person, is what you do, or potentially could do. So, in order for jealousy to be useful in a relationship, as hard as it is, the best thing to do is to allow yourself to be interested and curious. If your mate is looking at somebody else as a prospective good mate to them, and you're at risk of losing your mate because somebody else wants him or her, and he or she is thinking that other person is actually an attractive option right now, a really helpful thing would be to say to your mate, what is it about him or her that you find attractive? Instead of setting them up to have to lie that they're even attracted to them, just, I see you're attractive. She's an attractive person. How could you not be attracted to her? But what is it about her that you like? And if they say, she's so fun, she's not uptight, she lets herself have fun. She doesn't worry about what other people think of her. She just lets herself have fun. She dances like nobody's watching. Then ask a question. Would you like me to be more fun? And your mate might say, yeah, I would. I wish you weren't so uptight. And then you use that information, you use that jealousy, and you say something like, I'm going to try. You know what? That's important to you. And so it's awkward for me, it's uncomfortable for me, it's out of my comfort zone, but I'm going to try because I want to continue to be attractive to you. I want to be the more attractive mate. I want to keep you, and I'm willing to work at that. So when you can allow yourself to, one, recognize that you're jealous, and two, notice that that's not necessarily a bad thing, if especially if jealousy fits. And then three, ask yourself, can I do that? Do I want to work hard to keep my mate? Am I willing to do that? Then you might find that jealousy isn't something that we need to try to deny, and we don't have to be shameful about the fact that we're feeling jealous. We can allow jealousy to be a tool in our relationships. Give it a try. Take care.